Hi, I'm Bruce Brown, and I'm the president of Tabletop Alliance. And I'm just going live really quick to share some really great highlights of our impact summary as a nonprofit to date. If you're watching this in the future, hi from the past. But that being said, we have had an amazing run thus far, and just wanting to share some really quick updates with you and some really great highlights to really showcase the power of what's been going on. It's incredibly humbling for me to be able to share this, and we have so much more to even be looking forward to. So make sure you watch through this because I'm going to be talking about some things that are coming up, but very excited to share what has happened in the past. And so, just starting off, if you're newer to Tabletop Alliance, we're a 501c3 volunteer run nonprofit organization, and what we do is we equip and develop educators and community leaders to use games to further their impact. This may be consulting with them and supporting them in the utilization of games in the classroom to achieve specific learning outcomes. May they be teaching about a particular subject matter, or simply wanting to increase social emotional learning, so how individuals are able to learn about self, interact with others, those really great things. May that be in a traditional classroom setting, a after school program, or community based event. And so with that, we've been around for honestly a year and a half. We were founded in August 2020. But again, we're completely board run and volunteer run. And so this is an incredible thing. It's not just me, it's a community driven effort. I just happen to be very grateful to be at the helm, kind of driving this. But I'm grateful to have the team and supporters across the US. So, with that, in that last year and a half, that might not seem like a lot of time, but we've actually been able to do some really incredible things. One of those things is that in the last year and a half, through what we've been able to do in providing equipment and support to schools around the US, particularly those programs where we have a registered guild, an individual who has identified, hey, I'm using games and I'm going to be using games in my classroom and that after school program, etc. We have 1,404 students reported by those guilds as where that impact is going. So in this last year and a half, we've been able to impact 1,404 students across the US, which is absolutely incredible. That said, and here's actually a photo of some students with some RPG kits, by the way. So they're all of D&D or dice and things. I'm very thankful when I got that image. Cried in my heart a little bit in a great way. That said, we've been providing, so it's not just the development and the support and advice and coaching, but we've also been able to arrange for partnerships and be able to purchase things at wholesale, thanks to the support of many of you out there. And we've been sending out game kits, may they be role playing games or traditional board games or a kind of a mix and match. And so I'm very thankful and very humbled to say that thanks to your support, we've actually been able to satisfy 100% of applications that we have received. That means that of the applications we have received through our website, tabletopalliance.org, and then click register a guild or create a guild, those applications have been fulfilled. And so I'm very thankful for that support, very humbled by that. And so if you know an educator or community leader who is using games or would like to use games and might not have access to the resources to do so, or has that spirit but wants some coaching, make sure that you encourage them to go to tabletopalliance.org and register as a guild. And I'll be calling them to connect with them, support them, learn about them, and see what kind of resources we can provide. But again, 100% of the applications we've received, we've been able to fulfill, which is an amazing, amazing thing to say as a still young nonprofit. That said, you might be wondering where in the world these guilds are. And so, across the U.S., the guilds that we have registered currently are in Colorado, California, Illinois, Iowa, Pennsylvania, and then Texas, which is where the nonprofit is registered in. And so, it's really great to see this spread literally from coast to coast and see these amazing impacts be happening across these different programs. Now, with that, we've also in the last year and a half, just to call the nature of the world, there's been a pretty big digital aspect as well. So this footprint is not at all inclusive of our impact in that we've been participating in conferences and doing sessions, educational sessions that are all digitally because that's the nature of the world that we're in. I'm very thankful to have this technology to be able to do this. And so not only do we have this kind of boots on the ground impact, but we also have this digital aspect as well. Now, going a little bit more into those things, you might be wondering how we steward those funds and that support. So, and like how can you know if the support that you've been giving or want to give is going to a good place? And so that said, there is a organization called Candid, which is utilized by Amazon and many others to vet nonprofits. And so over the last year and a half of our existence, we have put into that, and what they do is they give us a review, and we've been rated as gold for our transparency and utilization of donor funds to be stewarding our mission and the impact. And so that said, 80% of every dollar that's been donated has gone directly to programs and services in classrooms, which is an incredible thing to be able to say. The other 20% has gone to these online developmental sessions, the coaching, as well as general administrative expenses, which as an organization, of course, we have. However, that impact that we've been able to have is, absolutely incredible with that 80%. That's an extremely high percentage for nonprofits. I know this because I'm actually finishing up my PhD in human resource development, focused in on nonprofits. And most nonprofits strive to get even close to 70%. And so if you want to talk about that and what those percentages mean and how we're stewarding that, I'd love to talk to you. We're so happy to talk to you. Just reach out to me. But I am incredibly blessed, and we are so humbled and thankful that we've been able to do this work. And that's really come down to your support, your encouragement, and then also these strategic partnerships and relationships that we've fostered with national distributors. So that way, when we're buying games or otherwise that are fresh, new and shrink, we're not doing so at MSRP prices. We're getting them at wholesale or better. So that way that we are able to provide more games than if you were to just go and buy a game and send it to us and we gave it to somebody else, right? So the best stewarding that we can do is through those donations. And again, if you want to look at our GuideStar profile, you can just go on to GuideStar. So GuideStar is the program by Candid, and then you can just search Tabletop Alliance, and it'll show you all of our financial details of the past year and that gold award status as well. And we're very thankful to be recognized as such. So in terms of this online content, we've done different webinars, and so with that, there's been actually 18 hours of specifically our YouTube content consumed by viewers around the globe, and so that means that 18 hours of content that we've put out there has been utilized in some way, shape, or form. And I'm so thankful for the speakers and supporters that we've had on during those different experiences. Additionally, just want to put it out there. I've mentioned a couple times how you can make a positive impact. And so right now we're currently doing our 2022. I know we're still in 2021 when you might be watching this, our 2022 supporter drive. And that is because we're coming up on the end of this year and we're wanting to launch into 2022 in the best of ways. And the best of ways that you can do that is actually through a monthly donation. We use a platform called Give Lively, which is connected with Stripe. And all you need to do is text give gaming, no space. So give gaming, no space to 44321. And you're going to get a pop up that's going to send to you as a text message, standard message, data rates, all that kind of fun stuff, of course, applies. And on there, you're going to be able to see this different options for you. And so let me remove the logo. There we go. So for less than what is a Netflix subscription per month, you're able to make a positive difference in schools and community programs across the US. And I'm so thankful to be able to say that. And I cannot wait to see what 2022 is going to be in store for us and be able to share with you come next year when we're doing this. So that said, you might not be in a financial position to do that. And so we just ask that you spread the word. Spread the word to an educator and let them know to make sure to register so that way we're able to support them and lift them up. That said, if you would like to, you can also fundraise for us. So when you go to that link, you actually scroll down and you'll see a part that says, I want to fundraise for this, as well as links for Facebook, Twitter, email, and just a link if you want to copy it, as well as there's a link below this video or above it, depending on the platform you're watching it in, to that 2022 supporter drive. Now, with that being said, we've got some really cool events coming up that you're definitely not going to want to miss. So make sure if you're not already on our Facebook that you sign up on our Facebook. So Tabletop Alliance, so facebook.com/Tabletop Alliance, or Instagram, which is tabletop.alliance. And so that way you can stay up to tune on all the latest things. So some of the brief highlights of things we have going on. So the Tuesday after Thanksgiving is what's known as Giving Tuesday. And so that's part of why I'm sending out this video, is to raise awareness of what's been able to happen, to steward all of your funds and the support that you've been able to provide, but also to remind everybody this is the season of giving back. And if you are also wanting to make any tax deductible donations before the year ends, this is the great time to do that. And as a nonprofit, all of donations are tax deductible. And if you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out. But every donation that you do through the platform as you text, we'll send you an email with that tax receipt. That said, on the first weekend of December, that's Saturday, we're going to be doing a celebration of supporters as well as a supporter drive. So you're not going to want to miss that. We're going to be bringing on some of our different guilds to talk. So those leaders in those classroom settings to talk about the impact of games and how they're using games and why they like using games and what they're seeing as beneficial for their students. So you're not going to want to miss that, as well as just to celebrate and play games online together. So some going to be some really great opportunities for you to personally engage. That said, we're also at two things in the fire that you're not going to want to miss out on. So one of them is just a fun competition that's going to be an online gaming competition, a tournament that we're working with online partners for. So I can't spoil anything yet. You got to tune in on that Saturday to find out. And then the other thing is having to do with students actually designing games. And so we're working through some of the final stages, and I'm going to be announcing everything of what it's going to look like during that stream. And I cannot wait to share that with you. But if you know of a student who likes games and might be interested in designing a game, this might be a great opportunity for that. If you know students maybe in an art class and wanting that expression, or if you're a teacher wanting to utilize this, we're also going to be providing a basic syllabus that you can utilize in your classroom or after school program setting to do this, because we wanted to provide a really cool opportunity to you and to the students across the US. And so again, all you have to do is text Give Gaming to 44321. Make sure that you are putting on your calendar to attend on that Saturday, the first Saturday in December of 2021, coming up in just a couple weeks, and that you are in a really great place and that you're able to get some gaming yourselves. And so with that, I thank you all for the support that you've been able to provide. And I cannot wait to say thank you from all of us to you as the supporters come in. And so thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for donating if at all possible. And thank you for being amazing. And I just encourage you to go make your positive impact on the world.